right, good morning, everybody. We're back. And you remember yesterday I said I'm going to tell you about the 5 things. We start with the first one today. And I'll tell you something about this first one. You remember that survey I did where I wrote to 200 people, and not 200 of my customers, I'm talking about 200 general public people. And I asked people a whole bunch of questions, and what was important to them is what I was trying to ferret out of that. And this is what I learned in that survey. And boy, is it consistent with what's on the list, all right? I got 100% of all respondees, which, by the way, was about 2/3 of the list. So we're talking about well north of 100 people responded. 100% of them, not a single one didn't have a concern about security with service people. Bottom line, believe it or don't, but it's true. People do not trust service people at some level. I mean, they want to hire them, but they don't trust them. And, you know, I got the same concerns. You know, I hire service people too, and I always have a knot in my stomach about how these people are just not going to, I'm going to be sorry I hired them is what I'm always worrying about. And usually it goes okay, but you know, I don't want to give them 5 stars. That's my grand experience with hiring service people. I try to be the guy that wanted to get 5 stars, and that's who you want to be too. But this matter of security, that thing ranged from one person, actually, and I think she's the outlier, but this was one of the responses. Actually, this lady was just concerned about, was she going to get raped in her own home? And, you know, in chimney business, you know, you're in people's living rooms a lot. The far end of the spectrum was, are the knickknacks going to go missing? And everything in between. It just, people don't trust service people. So that's kind of a disadvantage, don't you think? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's the greatest advantage. You may now have a huge, huge edge over all your competitors because you know that people don't trust you. They don't even know you and they don't trust you. That is an incredible advantage because all you have to do is speak into it and get them to trust you. And it's not really that hard to do. This one thing alone, if this is the only video in all of this stuff that you listen to, this thing alone could catapult your business through the roof, right? Now, there are techniques that are generally used to do it. They're pretty simple. You see them all the time, and you can turn them on like a spigot. You know, you can have them at work in no time flat. Biggest one in service businesses, of course, is testimonials. And reviews do that. Reviews are testimonials. So you're out for the hot reviews, you're out for the written testimonials. I think you want both. If you're having, you know, big online presence, which I presume everybody has, you're trying to get the reviews, and you can try to promote those in the ways that can be done. But you can also ask for reviews. People who are satisfied and know how to write, which is not everybody, I understand that, but a lot of people do. Okay, I mean, if particularly older people, all right, and so if you're in the homes of older people, say you have a home service business, older people will write reviews quicker than younger people will probably. Just ask us, you know, you got nothing to lose, right? We'll say no, maybe we'll say yes and just don't deliver, but you're going to get a few. And once you got them, they're like gold. You can say, this guy said this about me. You can show people the letters if you get a collection of them. Testimonials, reviews. All right, another big thing about getting customers' trust is drugs is such a huge thing, has been for many, many years now. And rightfully so. People who are using drugs are less dependable than people who aren't as a group. And that, I mean, listen, I know who I'm talking to. You know, an awful lot of people that are listening to this, you know, you're using some kind of drugs, you know, pot or whatever. But particularly with opiates, it makes you less dependable. People get into the medicine cabinets that is just not unheard of. If you are able to say to customers that you drug test regularly, and anyway, that means something to customers. And, if you can't pass a drug test, I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't make you a bad fellow, but it doesn't give you any kind of an edge, okay? So, if you got a problem, go off, deal with the problem. If you're just kind of an occasional guy, decide what you want. You want to be that guy, or you want to be, you can have that kind of fun, or you can be the guy that makes a ton of money and does the drug testing and can prove something that the customers care about. It's up to you. I'm just telling you, okay? All right, when you get, before you get to the house, there's the telephone, all right? If the appointment is made on the telephone, that is a place where people are judging you, okay? If the appointment's made online, that's another place that you're going to be judged, and I cover that in a different way later on. But if people are hearing your voice, people make a judgment about your voice. You say, I hear that voice. I hear, is he a little too slick? Is he, what is he? You listen to people's voices, and you know what they're about after you listen a while. So people are going to be hearing that. Make a good first impression on the telephone. And there'll be a lot about that another time, but just know that that's a place where people are deciding if they can trust you before they even get there. Okay? One of the things I can tell you right now, though, because I want to do this in the at the door part, is use both names. When people answer the phone, you can say, Bob Service Business, or you can be, hi, this is Bob's Service Business. This is Bob Johnson himself speaking. How can I help you? Or whatever. Use both names. It builds trust because it gives accountability. It's not like I'm Bob or I'm Guy hiding behind, the digits on the screen. You got my first and last name, and you hear my voice. You know who I am, and I'm accountable to you now. That builds trust. Okay, so if you're in a service business, an awful lot of service is at the home. The business I was in was home service. Use both names when you introduce yourself at the door. Keep your distance at the door. If you're a little bit too much in their face, that's intimidating. It's a power thing. If you want to exert power, then, you can play that game. I don't know how to play that game. I know for a fact it is more effective in business building because you get repeat business and word of mouth if you don't play the power game. The power game in the short run depends on how good you are at it. I knew a guy that was very, very powerful, excellent at the power game. People didn't want him back in their homes, though. I was thinking, he was a good guy, too. I actually liked him, and do like him. But I suggest do not play the power game. Keep your distance. Don't intimidate people. Take your time with people. If you're zooming at the house or wherever you provide the service, don't zoom. Take your time. And that builds trust. And answer questions. That's really big. Take as much time as the people need to have their questions answered. When you don't do that, you actually diminish trust. You don't just not build, you take down trust. Take as much time as people need. All right? That's all I'm going to give you on security. Just know that it's at the top of everybody's list. They basically don't trust you. Convey to them that you can be trusted. And in marketing, you're going to do that primarily through testimonials. Anything else you can think of. The business about being certified, not really too meaningful to the customer, but if it's at the bottom of some list of meaningful stuff, then, go ahead. Talk about how you've been certified and just build trust. Know that trust is at the top of everybody's list, okay? You got it. All right, we'll be on to the next one tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Hey friends, I hope this was useful to you. Would you do something for me? Would you please share this with anybody you know that ought to hear it too? And then, would you please give me the thumbs up and subscribe, right? That's kind of important on these things. Feel free to leave comments. All right, thanks a lot. And now get out there and do some winning.